Skills Village Radio.
Dumela, Sandra. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, Shoni. I'm good. How are you? And thank you for having me on your show. And good morning to all the listeners as well.
Thank you, Sandra. We are truly honored for the time that you've been able to award us. Please do tell the listeners what you do. Who is our Sandra exactly? Because I decided not to go into detail, but rather let you talk about the beautiful things that you do and who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity. It was great engaging with you this week over the past 3 years. Sorry, the past 3 days. It feels like 3 years, ne?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So by introduction, my name is Sandra Machemba and I work for an IT company. We are based in Midrand and I'm responsible for managing a program which is called an enterprise and supplier development program. Now, you might ask, what exactly is that? For some of the listeners who have never heard of a program like this, it's basically a program that takes in SMMEs. We, as a corporate, we take them in and we help them in terms of giving them opportunities. We help them with skills development. We help them with mentorship, but we also assist them with opportunities that are out there by giving them access to different markets that are out there. What those markets look like, it could be conferences, it could be exhibitions, it could be opportunities that you as a small business wouldn't necessarily be able to have if you were not part of the program, because what we do as corporate, we then expose you to these opportunities as an organization, as an SMME. We hold your hand throughout the whole process. We guide you. And like I said, we also provide some mentorship. If there is any specific training that you would like, we also assist with regards to training, whether it's training for you as the founder or for your staff. We provide that training. And in some cases, we even go as far as assisting with office space. So our program specifically, we also provide office space for some of our beneficiaries. They then have space in our offices where it alleviates, them having to worry about rent and all those other overhead expenses. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about working with people. I'm very passionate about making a difference. I'm very passionate about impacting people's lives. And yeah, this is basically how I can describe who I am and the work that I do as an individual.
And we truly appreciate your contribution to the society and to people in general. Yesterday and from Tuesday, for the past 3 days, the program was based on individuals with disabilities and giving them digital skills. Within the program that you do, what would you say would be the stats? Do you believe that there are a lot of companies owned by people with disabilities that take up such opportunities that you offer as an organization, or do you feel like it's more able-bodied owned companies that are part of your program, and perhaps companies owned by people with disabilities do not really approach you guys, or they do not come forth?
Sadly, Hloni, we actually don't have a lot of entrepreneurs in that space. People living with disabilities. Currently, on our program, we only have able-bodied people, and I would like to actually reach out, to entrepreneurs or persons living with disability to say, please reach out to programs like ours. Oftentimes we don't know where to find them. I know they are there, but we just don't know where to find them. And there's a huge gap that exists currently because I definitely believe that the entrepreneurs are there, whether it is, a lack of opportunities for them, or they don't know how to find programs like us. But there are definitely a few, key barriers as well that I would say I've picked up within the industry when it comes to this specific issue that we are discussing right now. It could also boil down to limited to access to digital skills and tools, which is what we were covering over the past 3 days at our digital skills and training program. It could also be they're not coming forward because of lack of inclusive funding and business support for persons living with disability. It could be physical and systematic barriers that actually make participation difficult for people living with disabilities, and often a lack of confidence due to limited exposure to opportunities. So the gap isn't really about what is it called, capability, but it's about opportunity, and that's probably what I would say the issues that we are currently facing at the moment.
There is an addition to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Most persons with disabilities also, when we find out or when we hear about specific opportunities, we would also start questioning elements of, is the environment disability friendly? And I can attest. I spent 3 days there. We had even beneficiaries that used wheelchair. The facility is disability friendly, so I also promote what you're saying, and I say that persons with disabilities should reach out. Right now, I can also confirm with you, Sandra, that welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Skills Village family. So our entrepreneurs with disabilities, get in touch with Skills Village Radio, get in touch with us on our socials and that, and let us know if you want to be part of programs like what our Sandra is doing. Get in touch with us and we'll connect you. We'll make sure that you are part of such programs. And for those creatives that are out there and they've not formalized and structured their business for the creative space, formalize it. You never know whichever element of creative space you're in. Well, Sandra could be able to take you up on their ESD program.
Yep.
So formalize it and apply. And I think the formalization is also the biggest problem, because you guys would not take a company that is not formally structured into your programs, if I'm not mistaken.
No, absolutely. No, no, we will just assist them with the process. If that is what's hindering them from starting the or registering their businesses, it shouldn't, because this is what we are here for. We will assist them, we will guide them through the process. We will hold, like I said, we will hold their hands and we will show them the ropes. So they shouldn't even let that deter them from approaching programs like ours as ESD programs. Yes, there's different ESD programs that are out there, and some of them might not be the same, but I know for a fact, definitely ours, we would definitely be able to assist and accommodate them. And this is what I'd also like to say, that you know things need to change in the industry, especially with corporate, in terms of closing this gap where we need to be more intentional about including persons with disabilities in entrepreneurship programs. We need to make sure that we design training that is accessible and relevant. We need to partner across sectors, whether it's corporates partnering, government and NGOs, and we need to shift the mindset from supporting to empowering and enabling our persons with disability. So please, even if their companies are not formally registered, but they've got an idea of what they would like to do, I will hold their hands. I will personally hold their hands. I will guide them. I will walk them through this journey and I will assist them. And yeah, like you said earlier, let them contact you and you will get them in touch with me and then we will then take it from them.
You heard it, guys. I have brought you a personal mentor. She is going to personally hold your hand. She's going to personally make sure that you succeed. And as we were even saying earlier about AI and making an income, technology. So she's definitely going to make sure that you're able to make an income. Sandra, before we close off, I just want to touch on something. The past 3 days, I learned a lot about your industry, about the IT industry. I learned a lot about how we can be able to collaborate and make sure that one vision involves a whole lot of people and it grows. From what we did in this past 3 days, what would you say you'd like to see happen, let's say, over the next 12 months, from us empowering the 20 individuals with disabilities? What would you like to see in the next 12 months?
Let me say this, Tony. So for me, the role of the ICT sector, right, plays a very critical role because it's one of the most accessible and scalable industries. Digital platforms allow entrepreneurs to run businesses from anywhere. So they could be anywhere and they could still be able to run their businesses, whether it's on a phone, a mobile phone, or it's a laptop. It could be anything. They could be anywhere. They'll be able to run their businesses. Technology reduces physical barriers to entry. So the only thing they need to do is start. Once you start, you'll figure the rest out as you go along. Skills like digital marketing, e-commerce, and basic IT can open doors quickly. So those are the kind of industries or sectors that they need to look at in terms of, business ideas. ICT essentially levels the playing field and it allows persons with disabilities to participate meaningfully in the economy. So that's what I can say for them is that they mustn't feel limited because with ICT, you're like now we're working from home. I only go to the office on certain days. So they must not feel like they are limiting or they must not limit themselves because with ICT you can literally do anything and everywhere. And even now with AI, you know, the world really is your oyster. Yeah, let me end it off there.
No, that is so true. Amazingly enough, just earlier on, before you came on, I was talking about the creative space and about marketing, and that marketing is, besides being an element of the creative space, it is also another way of making quick money,
True.
because you have people like me who is all over the show, or rather who is always busy, and I would need a person to do the marketing for me, and that person would be able to be making an income. So that is, as you're saying, the use of technology and AI, and to be able to create that income.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Sonny.
But now, before you go, just last one. I feel like I can talk to you for the whole 2 hours. Like we can continue just talking about technology and how we can empower people with disabilities. Throughout these past 3 days, what are the two things that you would say you learned about disability that you didn't know about people with disability? You only learned about it throughout these past 3 days. And what is the most memorable thing that you can say when you sit back and you're like, yo, no, God does miracles. I was so honored to be part of this. What are those things that you would say?
Sure. What a lovely question, Sonny. I mean, there's so much. I was actually also just thinking about it this morning, just recapping about the past 3 days, as much as the learners came to come and learn, and have digital skills training, but we also learned from them. I mean, I also learned from them. I learned just how resilient the learners are. I learned, I saw how they persevered. I learned that they despite the backgrounds that they come from, despite the challenges that they may have, or the challenges that they left behind at home, they still continued to wake up every morning, and come through and learn. They were hungry, they were eager. So I think for me, that was very admirable. How many able bodied people do you know? And you say to them, here's an opportunity here, and they'll come up with all kinds of excuses as to why they are not able to do it or to fulfill, the opportunity. But with them, they came. I mean, the weather wasn't so good. That could have also been another deterrent for them. They could have just said, it's raining today, it's cold, I'm not in the mood. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they didn't. They didn't let that hamper whatever dreams and hopes that they had. They came hungry, they came eager, and they wanted to learn. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them because it showed me that if they can do it with, the circumstances that they have and the limited opportunities that they have and limited exposure that they have, what is stopping me as an able-bodied person? What is stopping me from going above and beyond? But also, I saw, and when I saw them, what is it? I think on the first day, I saw a lot of hope. You know, I saw a lot of hope in them. So that was also very beautiful to watch. And by day three, you could see how the confidence that had been built up over the past 3 days, they had a lot of confidence. They were comfortable now in their own skin. They were comfortable in their own environment. So that was also very beautiful to watch, and just to share this journey with them. And I'm really hoping that, Hloni, you can share some testimonies that are going to come out from some of them in a couple of months or a couple of years, when they come back to you and say, Hloni, thank you very much for the opportunity. Look where I am now. Because of you, my life has changed. Because of the skills and the training that you provided for us, look where I am now. Look at how my life has changed. So yeah, that's basically what I can share. But yeah, thank you for the opportunity. It was really a privilege, an incredible honor for me to be amongst all of you. And like I say, it felt like I've known you for a couple of years, Sonia, and we had only known each other for 3 years. But to me, it's like I've gained a brother now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I absolutely was just honored to be in your company yourself. Lutando as well. She is such a powerhouse. She's such an incredible woman, your business partner. So yeah, I'm definitely still going to learn from you guys. This is not the end. It's just the beginning.
that is so true. That was just the beginning, and we are also very honored. Not a lot of organizations or companies would welcome such an initiative with open arms and treat us like we are a family, So for that happening, we really, really, really appreciate that. We appreciate the hospitality, and taking from there, the one thing that I can definitely say is, today is not the last day that we are having you also on Skills Village Radio. With the next time when you're coming on, we are doing a call for action. We are
Absolutely.
now saying that we have so many entrepreneurs with disabilities, and we are now calling also other corporates to say, jump on board with us. This is what we are
Yes.
doing, and we want more of you guys to be part of this, because I can definitely say, from what I've learned the past 3 days, your organization is also at the forefront of empowering people with disabilities and pushing inclusivity as well. And I'd like to say thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me once again, Hloni. Thank you so much. This was such a great experience. You know, the skills development training, and just being on this platform with you and your co-presenters as well. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful.
bathong telejang le se la ke sipele ke le day ke sipela le na hip hop is a lifestyle as you can speak to.
It's local, but it's international.
You are now tuned into Skills Village Radio.